Hello and welcome to the program. My name is Gina Poulos and today we take a close look at the man behind the artist, Mr. Charles Billich. Who is Charles Billich and where did he come from? Where will his passion of art take him next?
You look great for 83 years of age. What is your secret?
Well, I don't know if I look great or not. I put some cream on my face today. But no heavy eye makeup or anything like that for me. Thank you very much. I try to stay away from bad habits and to concentrate on work. I think it's a question of your mind being active and proactive at all given times, you know.
What was Charles Billich the boy like?
I was not a particularly good student. I was very talented, but I was deviant because I was perpetually sketching away, losing concentration, and not focusing so much on important things like mathematics and literature and history. You know, I was in my fantasy world, and even then I had the feeling that my mind was lost in a world of fantasy, and I wanted to create that fantasy, and I had this disturbed plan to capture the images in my head. This is why actually I became eventually an artist, because there's so many images in my brain that I want to download, and it's obsessive and it's manic. What can I do? You know, I'm castigated with that, some call it talent, some call it gift. The human body has to be glorified for what it is. It's a thing of beauty. It's the animal species that I'm most familiar with, and I keep on examining it, I keep on exploring it, and it's never ending. You think, if people say, oh, well, you must have run out of poses for the model. You never do.
What values did your parents instill in you?
They recognized that education was the key to success in life, and so they pushed me to get an education, and they wanted me to become a professional person. You know, we came from a provincial milieu, and I was a bit of a rebel from the start. I wanted to do things that they didn't approve of.
You were a ballet dancer at 15. You dabbled in journalism and ended up in jail. What happened there?
In jail, I lost a lot of weight. I came out of jail about half the size. You know, anybody looking for a shock-proof diet should go to jail. I'm only joking, please. Stay away from it. You know, it was quite a devilish place, jail, because not only you were starved, but you know, very useless disciplines were enforced upon you. Once I got published, for instance, for rolling up a sleeve of my uniform which was too long. You know, I was prevented from receiving parcels of food for a month.
Why were you put in jail?
I was put in jail for two reasons. One, I was actually caught trying to escape from a communist country, for which, you know, in years earlier than my escape, people got simply shot dead. When I came to prison, the maximum term for escaping the country was 3 years. That was compounded with another charge of treason against the state, and you know, on 7 or 8 different technicalities, probably all inventions. But I was actually betrayed by a girl I was going to escape with. I didn't realize that she was a secret agent, and she dubbed me in, and they were waiting for me at virtually at the border.
Back to the earlier years, we talked earlier about your jobs as a young man, and I'd like to mention that I've read that you've worked as a morgue attendant, a cab driver, a waiter, a sign writer, a translator, an English teacher.
A court interpreter.
A court interpreter.
That was actually quite interesting. I enjoyed that very much. I could have become one full time. Because I was fluent in quite a few languages.
So what was it like doing all of those jobs when you knew that your life was going in another direction?
Well, I had to pay for my schooling, I had to pay for my art material, and so I had numerous jobs.
Mr. Billich, when did you get your first big break?
Well, I don't know, because I wouldn't be able to classify whatever big break at the time was a big break. But I think it was a great blessing, a serendipity, when I sold my first painting. And I discovered that my paintings were quite popular. I had a string of great exhibitions, even from the beginning. In those days, an artist who really wanted to penetrate the Australian market had to be quite mobile and go interstate. So I had an exhibition in Darwin, in Canberra, of course in Melbourne, Sydney, Perth, Adelaide. It was a great time.
You've been married 5 times, but you've been with Krista for 30. Why has this marriage stood the test of time?
Because every time I ran away, she's full of gratitude for about 1 month, and then she comes wherever I am in the world to reclaim me. So there you go. You know, so we have these asunders and these reunions, and that's how it goes. But as time goes by, I think we're becoming more and more harmonious, believe it or not.
Are you satisfied with your achievements?
I don't classify them as achievements, steps, you know, towards some kind of a conclusion of my artistic life and some kind of closure, you know. But I treat every day as it comes. I work 8 hours a day, sometimes 10, 7 days a week. My work absorbs all my time and my energy and my attention. And, you know, you drop many habits and many hobbies and many interests in my life, one by one, actually. I become almost like a hermit, but I'm happy, I'm very, very happy. Nor do I project the image of a hermit. You know, people think I'm one of the most social people they know. Little do they know, you know, I keep myself to myself, and I have this priority very, very clear-cut. You know, it's my work, because I have such a long way to go yet. You know, such a long way.
What advice, I guess, would you give to an artist, young or older, starting today?
To strive, of course, for originality, you know, not to conform, you know. I mean, it's very difficult to establish your signature and your originality. That's possibly one of the most difficult parts about art. But unless you achieve that, you're not going to make it. Now, if you really want to make it, and if you really want to be recognized, you have to be able to offer something that nobody else can offer.
If you had your time again, would you do things exactly the same way, or what would you change?
The time I've wasted in my life, you know, instead of concentrating on productivity and discipline myself to come up with a tangible value. Now that I have only another couple of centuries left, I'm going to make a point of not wasting any second of my life. You know, I'm making an extraordinary exception to be here with you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Billich. It's been such a pleasure to talk to you today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gina.